Hello, hello, hello. I'm Dr. Tracy McClellan, and today we're going to talk about chapter 5 in our Hartman's textbook. And let's see, chapter 5 covers confusion, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. So let me share my screen, and you should have your textbook, something to highlight with, and maybe a pen close by so you can take notes. This is a very serious chapter. In all of my years of nursing, this is a different group of patients to care for. And some of the things that you will see happening with them, you need to be able to understand what's going on. One of the things that stands out that comes to mind for me is I was taking care of an 87-year-old patient, and such a perfect gentleman. So I spoke to him when I went in to do my initial evening assessment once I got there on the shift, the evening shift. And he was just as pleasant. He knew the LOCs, which is the level of consciousness. I mean, he knew the person, place, and time. I mean, he had a normal level of consciousness. And then as soon as the sun went down, he was crazy as a bedbug. I mean, he didn't know where he was. He didn't know who I was. And so I go in, somebody said they could hear some noises or something in his room. I'd been in there earlier. He was totally normal. I go in after the sun went down because they heard some noises. I go in. He is straight up butt naked like he came in the world. And I'm going, Mr. whatever his name was, are you okay? He had this terrified look on his face like, who are you? Where am I? I mean, completely naked. And I said, let me help you get dressed. So when I lean over towards him to help him put his gown back on, he hauls off and kicks me dead in the breast. And before I knew it, now I'm telling you what took place, and I'm also going to tell you what was right and what was wrong. Before I knew it, I had popped him on the leg, the same leg that he kicked me in the breast with. He meant to do it, but he didn't mean to do it. He didn't even know what he was doing. But at a reflex, my reflex, it's like he went boom, and I went boom. I hit him back, and I was like, and then I was terrified, like, oh my God, what did I just do? You absolutely positively cannot hit patients. No, no, no. That's a major no-no. It was a reflex. It was kind of one of these, I don't know. I don't even know how I did that. I would have not have thought that would be my reflex, but it was a reflex. He kicked me, and I popped him, like a kick pop. And I did tell my manager, and I was embarrassed about it, and they all laughed at me. But you absolutely do not have permission ever, ever to hit a patient, to pop a patient, or do any of that kind of nature. But what I'm trying to show you was this particular chapter is going to help you understand sometimes what may be going on with elderly patients. They regress. They go back in time with their mental thinking sometimes. They may have dementia, they may have delusions, they may have hallucinations, they may see people that are not there. Sometimes they see dead people. They may have some cognitive issues with their ability to think. Now and you want to also make sure you know that this is not necessarily the case with all elderly clients, but with some. And so we want to understand how to care for them, what to do, what's safe to do, and what's not safe to do. Okay, please do not pop your residents. You'll lose your job and may lose your freedom very easily. That's a major no-no. Okay, so let's get started. Chapter 5. It's not showing on my lineup. Let's see, is it further down? Yeah, here it is. Hold on just a minute. And we're going to get this shared and aired and everything. I hope you're having a fantastic day, because God is still on the throne, right? All right, so let's get started. Confusion, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. Let's see what's happening. You need to know that confusion is the inability to think logically and clearly. Inability to think logically and clearly. Delirium, when we say a person's delirium, they have severe confusion. That's the biggest thing you want to think about with that. But usually delirium is temporary. Cognition is their ability to think logically and clearly. So when we say that a person has cognitive impairment, it could be related to a condition. Maybe a person has a severe urinary tract infection that can cause cognition. I want you to keep that in mind. Maybe they are dehydrated. There could be a lot of things going on that could cause a person to have cognitive impairment. Dementia, serious loss of mental abilities, such as thinking, their ability to think, remembering, reasoning, and communicating. That's what we call dementia. Alzheimer's patients have dementia, but all dementia patients are not Alzheimer's patients. You need to know that. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive, incurable disease that causes tangled nerve fibers and protein deposits to form in the brain, which eventually causes dementia. Now, I'm going to say it again. Alzheimer's patients have dementia, but all dementia patients do not have Alzheimer's, because oftentimes dementia can be temporary. It may come and go. I want you to also know that dementia is not a normal part of aging. Mr. Leroy, my husband is going to be 77 and he has zero dementia. His memory is better than mine, and I'm in my 50s. Okay, so dementia is not a normal part of aging. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia in the elderly. You need to know that. More than 6 million people in the U.S. are living with Alzheimer's disease. Women versus men are more likely to develop Alzheimer's. Risk increases with age, but is not a normal part of aging. Black people are about 2 times as likely to get Alzheimer's as white people. Hispanic people about 1.5 times as likely. Alzheimer's is progressive, means it starts out a little bit and it gets progressively worse. It is degenerative, means the quality of life begins to degenerate or get less and less, and irreversible. You need to know that. It is irreversible. Tangled nerve fibers and protein deposits in brain cause dementia. Cause is currently unknown and diagnosis is difficult. So the length of time from onset to death can range from 4 to 20 years. Each person will show different symptoms at different times. So when you're taking care of Alzheimer's patients, do not take things personally, because they may walk, you may walk in their room and they say, "Hey, gal," or they may call you some derogatory statement that you don't want to be called. Don't take it personally. It's the illness, not the patient. Be empathetic. Empathy means to put yourself in their shoes. What if you were that age? What if you were going through what they were going through? How would you want to be treated? You would be acting probably the same way. Work with symptoms and behaviors that are noted. You may need to work as a team. Some of these patients, you're going to need to have someone come with you to help you do different things for them. Be aware of the difficulties associated with caregiving. Work with the family members. Remember the goals of the care plan. So every resident or patient, there should be a care plan for them. What are you trying to accomplish on a daily basis with that person? Perseveration. Okay. Yeah, I had to think about how you pronounce that word. Perseveration. Normally it's persevere, but it's perseveration. And that is a repetition of words, phrases, questions, or actions. And let me tell you what that sounds like. Stop. Yes. No. And this is oftentimes what you may see coming from the patient who is dealing with Alzheimer's, a little bit of dementia. Okay, and that's what it sounds like. So they had a couple of exercises here. We're going to bypass that. So here's a question to keep in mind for ADL's activities of daily living. Is early evening likely to be a good time to bathe a resident with Alzheimer's disease? Why or why not? What can a nurse aide do to make bathing easier? Nurse aide Pablo is new in New Hartman Hills. He decides it would be best to let the residents he cares for stay in their pajamas all day and skip brushing their hair. Is this a good idea? Absolutely not, Pablo. You better do your job. That is a major no-no. You have to get residents dressed. Now, you also need to know, and you'll see this on one of the other chapters, we don't give residents baths every day. They do get a wash off. You got to hit those highlight areas. So sometimes they may go down A hall, giving baths on Monday, and then on Tuesday, B hall gets the full bath where they go and get into the shower or whatever and get a full bath. And then on these opposite days, they get a wipe off around the face and neck and underarm, and then those pride areas that you definitely got to hit. So they may not get a bath every single day. So how can nurse aides support the physical and mental emotional health of residents with Alzheimer's disease? So you want to remember, they still remember how to walk. You just got to encourage them about getting up to walk. Nurse aides working with residents with Alzheimer's should remember these three general things. Let's pause. Thank you for calling the Medical Institute of South Georgia. This is Tracy. How may I help you?
I want to schedule to I want to take one of y'all classes. I think I'll start at April on July.
Let me get your information. Hold on just a minute. What's your first and last name?
I really gave it to you, but it was a lot going on. It's Portia Bartel.
Oh, okay. Hi, Portia.
And then I just got my diploma.
Okay, yeah, I remember your situation, Portia. So, yeah, but have you been to the school yet at all?
No, ma'am.
We need to get you in so you can get your admissions testing done and your admissions application done, because those courses start filling up fast. When can you come by this? Can you come by this week?
Yes, ma'am. I can come probably Friday.
Where are you located?
I'm based in Enigma.
Enigma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Let's see, Enigma. And do I have your email already, Portia?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. We got several Portias. How do you spell your first name?
Porcha.
That's right. The other one spells hers TIA at the end. Okay, so Portia Barthel. I remember that last name, Barthel. Fridays are not good days for testing. We typically do them Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. Are you able to come either of those days?
Thursdays, yes, I come Thursday.
Okay, we do it at 9 a.m. and again at 1 p.m. Or if you get here at 10, you'll have time to get it done.
Well,
if you get here at 10, you still have time to get it done before lunch.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So which day you want to come?
Which Thursday? I can do it Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday's fine.
Well,
Yeah, Thursday is good. You want to do it at 1 p.m.? That's fine. Okay, then we'll have you down for Thursday at 1 p.m. of this week, Portia, to come in and do your admissions exam. Yeah, I would go ahead and bring a copy of that. You also have to cover your admissions fees up front. That's your testing fee. Yes, ma'am. You can either bring a money order for that, or you can pay it through Cash App once you get here. Okay. The medical assisting, the phlebotomy, pharmacy tech, medical billing and coding, and nurse aid. Yeah, we have CNA. That's nurse aid. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can give you more information on that too as well. Yeah, tell her, come on, we'll help you guys get enrolled. Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye. I got you a drink, but I don't know what you drink. It's okay. We got some drinks here in school. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me see. I pray I was not recording. Your screen sharing is paused. I wondered, did I continue the recording and not? At least I can still record. Let's see. Let me see. Resume the share, but did I pause the recording? How did I pause the recording? Oh, Lord, I just recorded all of that. I am so sorry. Anyway, here we go. I did not mean to record all of that. Okay, I do apologize. I did not mean to record all of that. Let me start my screen share back. Yeah, I think I'm already screen sharing. Let's just go back to where we were. So screen sharing is paused. That's what I was trying to pause the recording and I paused the screen sharing. Let's go to the current slide. Technology. It's wonderful if you know how to use it. Okay, screen sharing. Okay, here we go. All right, so now nurse aides working with residents with AD should remember these 3 general principles for providing care. Develop a routine and stick to it. Promote self-care. Take good care of yourself, both mentally and physically. Sundowning is the name of the condition that I was referring to in the initial story I shared with you when we started the video. Becoming restless and agitated in the late afternoon, evening, or night. Catastrophic reaction, you're not gonna have to know anything about that. Pacing, walking back and forth in the same area is some of the things that Alzheimer's patients experience. Wandering. Have you ever heard of a person say, she's got Alzheimer's and she's wandered out of the house? Yeah, they do a lot of wandering. Walking aimlessly around the facility or facility grounds, and sometimes down the street. Elope is in medicine when a person with Alzheimer's disease wanders away from a protected area and does not return. They elope. Hallucinations is considered false or distorted sensory perceptions. Delusions, persistent false beliefs. Rummaging, going through drawers, closets, or personal items that belong to oneself or others. They're rummaging. Hoarding, you know what that is. Collecting and putting things away in a guarded way. Oftentimes, they will try to hide things that they feel is precious to them away from other people, and who the person they're really hiding it from is themselves, because they won't ever be able to find it again. Okay, so yeah, these are some of the symptoms and things that happens with patients who have Alzheimer's. Then they've got some scenarios, situations that patients may go through. So nurse aides who work night shift often find Mr. Collins in the library in the middle of the night. He says he cannot sleep. And this is also a symptom that goes along with Alzheimer's. So why can caring for someone with Alzheimer's disease be very difficult? Most of the time because it varies from, you can't like set up a pattern for them because their behavior changes from day to day. Validating is giving value to or approving. So you don't want to validate their hallucinations. Don't add anything to it. And that is the chapter on dementia, confusion in our outlet patients. Make sure you've completed the workbook on this, and stop the share. Make sure you've completed the workbook on chapter 5 and are ready for your major exam over chapter 5, okay?